character. They popped out a Peach this time. We're going to see the Lucas from the NJ's own top prime Lucas himself, WebbJP. I think we're going to be seeing a much more safer route gameplay that not deal with all the bombs and shenanigans that they're going to be coming out from Skew with the Lucas this time.
Yeah, Lucas, definitely the safe choice here for WebbJP, but gotta say, the ZSS was not doing all that badly, so makes you wonder, trying to get this Lucas warmed up and maybe other things in mind for WebbJP. Revenge, perhaps.
Possibly. Also want to give a quick shout out. I just noticed in the chat that Sweet Lou came through with that gifted sub to Leon, who came through with that raid. So thank you for reciprocating the love, Sweet Lou, to Leon. That is awesome. Just showing some support not only to MHG, but also to the boy Leon coming through with that raid. And I agree heavily on what you just said a second ago. I think that now is the time. It's like, okay, after what happened in winners finals, and even especially, you know, something maybe matchup specific here, Webb now pulling out the tried and true with the Lucas. Get it warmed up, get it ready. To possibly get prepared to go for that reset run if you're able to get by Skew here.
Nothing gets by me, Ajax.
It's going to happen more than what you're... Just accept it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Hey, don't worry about it, man. I am. If you want to compare me to Skew, that is the comparison that I do not mind having drawn towards me. I will say that. And I am just noticing the Furtastic prefix, and I take that back. So, but I will say the gameplay of Skew is certainly nothing to shake a stick at, or certainly whether it's the F smash of Lucas or any other projectile or any other disjoint in the game, as Skew is trying to garner a little bit of an advantage here, and you do not want to fight this Lucas in the air. I think Skew, recognizing that, deciding instead to attack when the feet are on the ground, and the first blood is going to be drawn by Banjo and Kazooie in this best-of-5 clip.
Yeah, what a change-up that happened here. Really just slowing down that pitch, because you saw the way that Webb was just controlling the game at the beginning, and then Skew found a couple of ins, found a couple opportunities where needed, but also much like Banjo, able to get those drag-down nairs into follow-up hits. You also always have to be paying attention to that from Webb, and you're going to be looking for those drag-down nairs into such, and I really like the coverage here, trying to catch Skew off the side of the stage, just barely missing multiple times with those edge guards.
I mean, just barely. This is a game of, they say football is a game of inches, well, Smash is a game of pixels, and only slightly less violent. So, we are going to have the nair again. WebbJP with those drag-down nairs is just exerting control onto the proceedings of this matchup, even if the numbers don't necessarily show it. That's a tough position for Banjo to be in. It's a relatively heavy boy, all things considered, and the down throw into that kick eats the feet into the face of Skew, and you're just going to have to deal with that sometimes. When Lucas gets their combo game going, I mean, you just kind of have to hang on for the ride.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I've liked the way both of them are playing the ledge game so far this set. We saw that Skew is consistently putting out nairs to try and catch some type of short hop option from Webb off ledge. And then as soon as it was reversed, Webb immediately answering back with those fade back side Bs with controls such as the neutral Bs to catch any time that Skew tried to come off ledge. And he's just been doing such a great job of controlling the ledge. But unfortunately for Skew, because of the fact that he used the up B there and committed to that fair, didn't actually end up landing on stage after that. And that's going to be a free fall into the blast zone, in something Webb will definitely take a hold of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure if that's a door that you want to leave open for WebbJP. However, Skew is able to clean it up, take it to one stock apiece, and now WebbJP going to utilize aerial prowess of Lucas yet again. That's usually where I throw in the last name of the character, but I honestly don't know if Lucas has the last name.
Honestly, I have no idea. I can't even pretend to know that one. But one of the things that we will definitely be seeing a lot more of, as we're seeing now, those short hop nairs. Oh my God! What? I don't know whether that was just a spot dodge read in general, or recognizing immediately that the jab started going off. But the optimal punish in that situation, recognizing, oh, Skew is currently swinging in the wrong direction. This is mine to behold. Realizing that the drag down there went the wrong way, and that is going to cost Skew right there. So a little bit of a miscue on the tech, kind of similar to that drop zone fair that happened offside of the stage. If we see Skew clean that up, this could be a very different game, but that one is just one of those super unfortunate accidents that paid out very well for Webb.
I mean, that move is made to punish errant button presses, and WebbJP is never, ever going to err away from a chance to light up the sky with that up smash. As we were taking a look at these other stocks right here, this is where we thought that Skew might have had an in, as they weren't doing all that poorly, really. The Wonder Wing taking the second stock there. But it's still them getting up smashed, and if you want to fight the air, that's perfectly fine. But WebbJP having their eye on the prize, and as we go to Battlefield for game number 2, WebbJP is going to be looking to go up a huge margin here at 2-0.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen this change of scenery here to it too. Also, the heavy commitment there from Skew, even though still forcing out the early SD, going down, kind of making Webb to drop down a little bit. Unfortunately, couldn't get back, but perfectly played, knowing how to get the grenade jump boost there to get the additional up B, and Skew's able to make it back. So that whole first stock was being controlled regardless. It would have been unfortunate to see Skew give up that stock after that, and Skew's able to just light up the very beginning of this game.
I mean, yeah, it was a heavy commitment from Skew, but as evidence there, it was an even heavier one from WebbJP, and that tends to be the problem, doesn't it, Ajax? But we are going to see how WebbJP is able to negotiate. Skew could garner a full stock lead here with a couple of well-placed combos, letting WebbJP back onto the stage, and I guess trying to pull out the PSI magnet, even if you're not expecting to get the healing there, just kind of show that the option is available, and WebbJP is eventually going to get that stock back, not without accumulating 90 points worth of damage. But again, that's what happens when you're on the Schneid for that first stock SD. Then you get Wonder Winged, and then you're just kind of in a world of absolute pain, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I wanted to point out before that Webb did such a good job of recognizing either, just covering a spot dodge or a drop zone option like they did before with that down smash. But the swiftness of Skew to shut that down right afterwards, like since the very beginning of this match in particular, the game has just been foretold all Skew looking for a jump right there, trying to condition something out of Webb. But good job by Webb, and now gonna get one of those positions we're used to. Gonna get that read on that spot dodge, realizing, oh crap, I need to get out of this situation right now and really bad, and that's going to cost them. Wow, this match has been going completely back and forth so far.
Webb absolutely tap dancing on Skew, and then into the confirmation. That is classical WebbJP, what we just saw. And then you're going to read him, drag him across the stage, and now it's WebbJP trying to make their way back into this game. Sometimes you got to work twice as hard to get half of what Banjo is going to get, but WebbJP certainly is not willing to shy away from not one to shy away from a little bit of hard work, which honestly after that first stock might be kind of needed, but this is all of a sudden doable, Ajax. Yeah,
and you also have to be careful too, even with the fact that Webb's been improving. Skew has been holding down the ledge so well, and there are still plenty of Wonder Wings online. So at some point, one of these trades after kind of conditioning, oh, I'm reading your jump with a short hop fair, it's gonna come out, and you have to be afraid. Trying to find their way in with a little bit of a zoning attempt here. Looking for maybe a grab because you're trying to condition something out of Wonder Wing. Like, good job from Webb not getting a little bit too antsy, but this is still a very, very scary spot to be in. And just going to go for the roll behind and get the grab. Hasn't gone for that the entire set so far, and that's something you pull in your back pocket, especially at the last stock like that. Skew is phenomenal with this Banjo, man. Like, every single game, I am more and more impressed by how well Skew is able to play this character.
Yeah, no, it just chucked him off of the ledge, and that was exactly the right call. When you get yourself, I mean, you should know. I mean, you're playing an Earthbound kid, you have to recognize the possibility of that character getting behind you and back throwing you. But that's the Skew for you, and finding their way in and making sure that the win condition was met. That's just kind of it doesn't always have to be pretty, and Skew recognizes that, especially if you are playing as Banjo, for being completely honest. But
and you know what's really good about that too is that in those situations, you know, obviously a roll behind, like you said, that's going to happen eventually, but all set prior to that, there was always a grenade or there was always a short hop fair or something forcing Webb to stay grounded in that spot, because if I jump, I'm going to get hit. So you put out that PK fire to try and answer that incoming grenade, and then all of a sudden you just get spooked. It happened, but Skew layered that as the match progressed, and it paid off. I don't know if we'll see that work probably right away. This is a 5-game set, but at some point, Skew is going to keep that in the back of his mind and catch Webb off guard with that again, if Webb allows that opportunity to come up again.
You got to think that Lights is looking at this, waiting in grands, wondering what the opposition is going to be here. And Skew, both Skew and WebbJP got on the wrong end of Lights. Lights eventually using that peach pick to take Skew out of winner's side by a score of 2-0. And as we saw earlier on, Lights defeating WebbJP by a score of 3-1 to earn their place in grand finals. But these two will be looking for a measure of revenge, but they got to go against each other first, and a very evenly matched game number 3 to start things off until you get Wonder Winged, Ajax.
Yep, and also this counter pick switch looking very similar to that of what we saw earlier when Skew was facing Plus. After the short stage pick, we ended up seeing a swap over to PS2 because you get a bit more of that room. You get a different play style coming out of Skew as well, who goes to a bit more reserved every once in a while, and we're seeing that damage has been much more even now because you're not trying to box nearly as much with Skew by comparison, even though Lucas definitely has plenty of kill options in that regard. Gonna get the grab though, one of the few characters who can actually combo into a grab, absolutely insane, and that up throw's gonna take it out.
Well, that's just Lucas for you. I don't know why those throws are so powerful. I don't know why every single throw kills, but that's just the luxury that that Lucas has, I suppose. And WebbJP is going to bask in it, and certainly not in that as you get down thrown into the drill rush.
Yep.
Going up and out.
Yeah, recognizing no mash out in that situation right there. As we saw before, it's a mix-up in itself, so you get the right call. That's the stock. And, oh, good job just kind of keeping it in place and racking up so much more damage. Like, okay, if you tech in place here, I still have this held down. It doesn't seem like a situation where they would continue to go for that because there's zoning directly in your face, but Skew able to optimize as much as possible out of that. And forcing the air dodge, going straight down, trying to go for the early edge guard attempt, trying to read the jump, but good job by Webb to get by it.
We are rolling through, man. This thing is the pace is seriously picked up. I gotta say, we have evened this out. Both of these characters, both of these don't get me wrong, WebbJP and Skew are characters in a sense, but both of these players are they recognize that they have a chance to win. Like, this is doable for both of them, and they're playing like it. This is very positive. I wouldn't say overly aggressive, but definitely smart gameplay that we're seeing from both of these individuals. And I'm kind of liking that. Oh my gosh!
There we go. It's one of
as
those things.
You have a little bit of momentum. WebbJP puts it on ice.
You constantly use it over and over again. You constantly avoid it over and over again. And then the one time you need it to work, it just comes in clutch. There's been multiple times where Skew's been able to get away with a high recovery in those situations, but not that time. And now you see Skew looking for this side B at the ledge because he knows that Webb is going to want to recover high here. And Webb has somehow been able to box his way around, looking for an air dodge back in place with the up tilt, not going to get it in. Webb reversing this entire ledge trap into his own favor, getting 54% out of it.
I mean, you think that you're safe from someone like WebbJP, and then you realize, I mean, just in the past week alone, entering these large brackets and coming in these top 8s, in fact, to a 270-person bracket on just last weekend. It was get clip number 2, placing in 7th. That's not nothing, so you got to think coming back to the familiar realm of DNA, though you haven't won it in a while, you're always showing out. Skew, however, looking to make this realm theirs and theirs alone as they take WebbJP down to their last stock. A bit of work to do, though, Ajax.
Yeah, doing a good job there, realizing after, okay, I didn't get the right call in the mash out, just barely missed that up tilt, but running right back in to get that up smash. And like you said, a lot of work still to go. You have to be careful, especially in situations like that, where you get mixed up on ledge, you get baited into going for a roll, get to realize that with the get up attack, but nothing you can do about that situation there. No DI in the world is going to save you in that spot. That backdoor going to take it out. Like you said, so much kill power available to Lucas pretty much at all given times with the grabs. And that's going to be yet another stock closed out by that. I am very thoroughly impressed between both of these two. Like you said, it has been going back and forth over and over again. The neutral game situations have been consistently different. There hasn't been really a whole lot of times where the mix-up game has been super obvious. So it's super surprising, especially this late in bracket, with both of them being able to watch each other's matches like throughout, how well they've been able to consistently keep this up. Where it looks like we're going to be seeing a stage counter pick for sure. From the looks of things and the way that things have gone, do you think we're going back to a short stage, like maybe a Smashville, or do we stick to something like a tri-plat if it's available?
I mean, it makes you wonder. Both of these individuals are so willing to go and box each other, and I'm not convinced that we're going to be seeing a zoning game from either one of these two. They like to go at it, and indeed, tournament hopes and dreams for Skew may well be buried on the battlefield as we go to game number 4.
Yeah, this is a stage that was counterpicked to last time. It definitely seems like Skew is much more of a fan of not only things like Battlefield, but Smashville, just having a little bit less room to work with, because Skew doesn't really zone from full screen. It zones about a character length away. That way you can approach in on one of these projectiles that he puts out, and which has worked consistently. Good job with that Tomahawk to get stage positioning. But, Webb has shown very much so as well. Like you're saying before, we don't see a big zoning game out of these two too often. It's both of them ready to throw hands pretty much at all times, looking for the baited roll, but luckily for Webb, gets the right call at that Rising Fair and able to get out of there.
Yeah, well, I mean, WebbJP just trying to provide themselves a little bit of space with which to operate. I mean, you wanted a closed-up space so that you could exert your control in this matchup with that Nair that you can so thoroughly dominate the skies with. Well, be careful what you wish for, because that free goal bash is going to come down, and it lands heavy upon the head of WebbJP as Skew trying to fight their way back into this set, into a 2-2 situation. That is one way to start things off.
Yeah, fool me once, shame on me, but not that time. Only needs one time, but gets caught once again on the high recovery from that PK freeze. So even though Skew was able to get the roll read on the second attempt with that forward smash, Webb not wasting any time to answer, realizing that the jump was going to be there. And now a 57% lead. Here on the second, excuse me, actually that's reversed. I just realized where the stocks were. But still, good call by Webb. Skew trying to go for the low edge guard attempt there, and this game looking very even.
I mean, hey, sometimes getting hit by the PK Thunder is the best thing that you can do. Maybe just miscalculating the space just a little bit, but nevertheless, admirable attempt, as now WebbJP is evening things up, and yeah, you just want to get rid of this stock as quickly as possible, just hoping and praying that the up air was going to be there. And if you're not able to mash out of it that time, WebbJP, you are going to lose your second stock. And now Skew trying to even things up. Bigger things in the sights of this Banjo main has been nothing short of impressive so far, Ajax.
Yeah, consistently catching these landings over and over again. We're seeing much more of a good anti-air control game from Skew. Got to be very careful in this situation, though. Good call going for that get-up attack. And you see that Webb was looking for the jump over for sure, or some kind of short hop fair maybe with that anti-air up smash. But Skew, I like it. After a shot like that being that scary, you retreat and you reset, because Webb was definitely looking for some kind of big damage a second ago to lead to a kill option.
I mean, WebbJP has been such a consistent force throughout these tournaments. Certainly has shown the capability to come back from adverse situations. Would need to take 2 straight stocks, and I wouldn't say that anything is unwinnable with WebbJP. I've just seen too much from this Lucas, and certainly too much from them as a player in general. But I mean, we have seen Skew just kind of poking away at the aspirations, and sometimes you gotta poke at it other times, you just gotta charge right in.
We need that replay right now because I need to break down that entire left side edge trap. With the way that Skew controlled the pace after getting control there. There you go. Get the back air, force Webb low, a couple times with the shot, baits out something there, just kind of staring down with the high recovery, and that ended up forcing a situation where it's like, okay, Webb is probably looking for me to jump out there with that fair, but never moved, just held down his ground and gets the crossed up side B. There's so many people in those type of spots who are just, oh, there's somebody right there. They're out there. I have to go hit them. And then you get hit by the PK Thunder 2, never losing control of the space on the ground, though. It is that was very good patience by Skew right there. And like we said, just time and time again, we've seen Webb come out of situations like that on top in very, very just negative spots. But the way Skew played that last stock, I 100% doubt, as we see here, the switching stages, that we see triplats for the rest of this game, let alone maybe a Smash Drill. It's probably going to be things like FD or maybe a Town and City at best that Skew is allowed to go back to if we get to Game 5.
I mean, it's one of those things where you don't want to give Lucas any sort of chance to garner momentum. So if you want to slow down the pace of the game, well, you're going to have to do it on Final Destination. It will be all too fitting a name for a stage for one of these two individuals, as Lights awaits in Grand Finals for the winner, and the loser will have to settle for the third place finish. And it does make you wonder, I mean, Skew going right back to that F tilt, and that Game 4 really was kind of a death by 1,000 cuts situation, wasn't it, Ajax? Especially when those cuts are being administered by the beak of Kazoo.
Yeah, it really was. And also, we have a bit of a bad situation here for Webb going trying to go for the heal on the grenade, actually costing him. And even if Webb was able to find their way back on stage, or able to get a shot, you saw that Skew went down there to put that up B hurtbox in the way and force Webb down. So just getting a tale of good fortunes and pretty much a gift there wrapped is Skew because of that early SD by Webb.
I mean, just an absolutely disastrous start to game number 1 if you're WebbJP. And obviously, I mean, I said don't count him out of any situation, but when you're putting yourself in that situation, Ajax, I love watching WebbJP, but I mean, in game 5, that's inexcusable.
Yeah, that's rough in that situation right there. Also getting hit out of shield. Now Skew can afford to go for trades in a matchup you don't want him to have any opportunity for. Fading out something there with that F tilt, looking for the follow-up, now getting grabbed again, but this time going for a DI mix-up off to the left. Go for that back throw. Now here's Webb getting that back throw himself, getting answered back. Now, we've seen Webb again. I know we keep talking about it, but it really is true. Webb is able to go so fast, but the damage was going to get aided out by Skew there, going for the short hop in his face, getting that forward air, now down to the last stock. We need to see some perfect play from Webb, otherwise we'll be seeing Skew moving on into Grand Finals.
And certainly, WebbJP is capable of providing such. If there's any Lucas in the world that can do it, it's likely them. And looking for the magnet, trying to catch them below the stage, catch a nifty little quick second stock.
That would have been so good.
Yeah, I mean, Skew not going to provide them any such opportunity, but the idea was there.
Yeah, just barely missing on any attempt. You know, obviously you don't have a lot of percent, so you're not going to get a good knockback window onto the side of the stage there. But here's something that's going to work out in favor of Webb. You know, you try to get in the way there to shorten the distance that the Thunder 2 is going to travel, but unfortunately, no tech coming up from Webb due to how long that animation could take and get a little bit thrown off. And now we're looking at last stock all of a sudden, and you get hit by the PK.
Gosh.
That's a bad spot.
No way!
No! Webb steals the game away from Skew with 2 PK freezes in a row. You try to get off the stage like that, and you get called out for it over and over again. What an amazing comeback from Webb.
Are there any words to describe what we just saw? Because all I came up with was no way. This is how the situation started out. WebbJP with a disastrous first stock, losing it at 2%, getting yourself into the hole, and eventually, yeah, you get that stock off with the back air, always believing in the game plan. But this is kind of how it carried on. WebbJP moving on to defeat to go on against Lights, but Skew, that wasn't a poor game by them by any stretch of the imagination. Eventually is able to take that stock after going to about 100%. And That was techable, I believe, but this is how it all ended, Ajax. The consecutive PK freezes, putting tournament hopes on ice. He does not miss those when it counts. WebbJP, what a display on that last stock.
That one, we talked about burns. That was a freezer burn for sure. And as pointed out by K3H as well in chat, very talented Lucas player himself, that was not in any way, shape, or form something that was busted. That was just 2 good calls. You recognized, okay, you're at last stock. He's probably going to be looking for something. So you get up attacking that situation, trying to get Webb off of you. Then you get caught. And consistently, the other times we've seen that PK freeze get called out was on that early up B from Skew. So putting another one out there just as an option coverage tool, just to catch him off guard, and that move kills so early. So getting the ability to get not only that, but the real change of the game was that early kill for the PK Thunder 2 missed tech at 27%. If that